The TikTok saga is finally officially over, but the fallout is just beginning. Google search volume is tanking, yet traffic might be fine, and new data suggests that trying to rank in AI results might just be a game of pure chaos. I've got your digital marketing news update for this week, so let's dive right in. First up, the will they won't they back and forth is done. A White House official confirmed this week that the TikTok US deal is finalized. The app's US operations are now run by Oracle, Silver Lake, and MGX, and ByteDance retains just under 20%. In their first major statement, the new owners promised defined safeguards that protect national security, including comprehensive data protections. But here's where the security narrative gets a little interesting. Since the takeover, users have been hit with a new terms of service pop-up, and according to CBS News, the biggest change is that TikTok will now collect precise location data, something that the previous owners actually stopped doing to avoid scrutiny. So how is tracking your exact location a national security safeguard? Well, the official logic is geofencing. To ensure your data stays on secure US servers, they need to verify that you're physically in the US. But the marketer's reality? We all know it's about ads. Oracle is a data company. Precise location data allows for hyper-local targeting that wasn't possible before. So they're essentially turning the spy features back on, but now it's for profit, not for politics. What's the reaction to all of this? Well, it's not great. Users aren't thrilled about the forced sale, and app deletions have spiked 150% since the announcement so far. This raises a massive question for your 2026 strategy. If the user base shrinks, is it still a primary channel for your marketing? If you're worried about the audience exodus, you need to look at where they're going, and I'm one step ahead of you. Here are the 3 alternative platforms currently seeing a download spike. The first is called Upscrolled. Think of it as an Instagram-style alternative with a chronological feed. Upscrolled is pitching itself as the fair platform, where reach is based on your followers, not an algorithm's agenda. The second is Skylight. It's like a TikTok clone, but it's built on the AT protocol, which is the same technology behind Blue Sky. This means that it's decentralized, and if you build an audience here and decide to leave later, you can take your followers with you. It also cross-posts directly to Blue Sky. And the third is Yope. It's currently blowing up with Australian teens, specifically because of the recent social media bans. Yope isn't for broadcasting to strangers, it's a friends-only ecosystem. It uses lock screen widgets to send photos directly to your friends' phones, removing the performance aspect of social media. There's no public counts, no influencers, just close connections. Now, do I think you need to pivot your entire budget and strategy over to Yope tomorrow? No, not necessarily, but it's a good idea to grab your brand's handle on these other platforms and monitor how this pans out. Switching over to some search news, a new report from Search Engine Land showed that US Google searches are down nearly 20% year over year. Now pause. If you watched my update from last week, you remember I covered a similar web report saying that organic traffic was only down 2.5%. So how can searches be down 20% but traffic is flat? Are these reports contradicting each other? Well, actually no. They paint a clear picture of the new normal actually. The 20% drop in searches is likely efficiency. AI is answering the easy stuff like weather, quick facts, zero-click queries, so users don't need to search 5 times to get an answer. But the similar web data proves that when people need deep answers, they're still clicking through to your site. Basically, the junk searches are gone and the high-intent traffic remains. But that doesn't mean publishers are happy about this. Google announced yesterday that they're exploring ways to let sites opt out of their AI features, specifically like AI overviews and AI mode. This triggered a massive debate in the search community, and Barry Schwartz at Search Engine Roundtable polled 350 SEOs and publishers. The result? 1/3, which is about 33%, said they would block Google's AI immediately if given the chance. 42% said they wouldn't, and 25% are in wait-and-see mode. Why block? Well, if Google answers the question anyways and no one's clicking, why stay? I'm personally shocked so many would opt to block AI results because at the end of the day, it is visibility, and I'm sure there's a few cases where it makes sense to protect the brand, but I don't know, we're gonna have to wait and see how this one pans out. The option isn't available quite yet anyways. In more AI search news, Rand Fishkin and SparkToro released a study on AI recommendations. They had volunteers run identical prompts thousands of times through ChatGPT, Claude, and Google. The result? Chaos. The AI recommendation list repeated less than 1% of the time. The order of brands changed constantly, and this means that ranking number 1 in ChatGPT simply isn't a thing. You can't track position, which we at Ignite Visibility already knew. You can really only track visibility, which is how often you appear over hundreds of tries. Second news story from my local businesses, a report from Sochi showed that AI local visibility is up to 30 times harder than Google Maps. While you might appear in the local map pack 35% of the time, ChatGPT might only recommend you 1% of the time. Why? Because AI is pickier. It requires higher ratings and cleaner data. So if you have 3.5-star rating, Google might still show you because you're nearby, but AI will not recommend you likely. Alright, let's shake off the negative and look at some new tools that you can start using right now. Google has updated demand gen campaigns, which means you can now see attributed brand searches, meaning you can finally prove that your video ads caused people to go search for your brand. They also added shoppable CTV ads and travel feeds for hotels. Over at Pinterest, they just launched a new media planner. It lets you estimate reach, frequency, and cost for specific demographics before you spend a dime. If you've been sleeping on Pinterest, this makes budget planning way safer. And on over to X, you no longer need to write #ad in your campaign text. They finally added a content disclosure toggle, which you just click and it marks the post as sponsored for you. It looks much cleaner and professional. And next on over to Threads, their ads are now global. Meta announced that advertisers in all regions can now place ads on Threads via Advantage Plus Suite. With 400 million monthly active users, this is officially a really serious placement. Finally, I want to end on a high note regarding AI. Adobe just released their post-holiday traffic report, and the numbers are absolutely wild. It's a good reminder that while marketers are debating over AI search, consumers are already using it to shop. Don't forget that. According to the report, retail traffic driven by AI tools was up 693%. But it's not just shopping for clothes. Travel saw a 539% boost, financial services is up 266%, and even media and entertainment saw a 92% jump. And here's the metric that matters most, it converts. The report found that traffic coming from AI tools isn't just window shopping. AI-driven traffic delivered a 33% revenue increase compared to non-AI traffic. Think about that. People coming from AI chatbots aren't just browsing, they're arriving ready to buy because they've already done the research in the chat. The report also found a massive geographic divide that I found really interesting. States like Virginia, Washington, New York, California, and Massachusetts are engaging with AI at twice the US average. The takeaway here? If your target market is coastal or tech-forward, AI optimization isn't a future strategy, it's a right-now strategy. Is your business visible? Alright, here is your homework for the week. If TikTok is a major part of your strategy, watch your retention rates. If they dip, claim your handle on Upscrolled, Skylight, and Yope. AI search is here, don't forget it, and it's not going anywhere. Have a solid strategy, track your visibility, and stop trying to track rankings in AI. It's not a thing. Look for tools that measure share of voice or visibility percentage instead. That's the news. It was a crazy week, but the opportunity is usually found in the chaos. If you have any questions on this data, or maybe even just a hot take, I would love to hear it. Drop it in the chat and let's talk. See you next week.